One of
As I
the
work as an animal doctor, veterinarian, and one of my clients, she had an appointment with her dog, so she comes to me. I say, hi, Oleg. Can you sign your book for me? And then I responded, how do you know I wrote a book? Say, well, I was searching for your contact information on internet, and then it came up that you author of the book. So I wanted to sign. And
awesome.
it's different
That's
now. Like even my wherever my workplace, people recognize me. We start talking about the books. Say, oh, listen to Oleg now. He's a published author now. He
that's
knows what
great.
he's talking.
I love that. I love that. Hi guys, welcome back. And we are here with our client Oleg, who has just recently finished his second novel with us. So as always, when people write more than one book, we're going to go into what he's learned over working on two projects together and see if you guys can learn something as well. And we'll talk a little bit about the book too. Oleg, welcome back to interview two.
Thank you.
Where are you based, Oleg?
So I'm in Philadelphia,
Hmm.
Pennsylvania, United States.
And
Yeah.
when did you get into writing?
So writing actually, well, I was always interested in writing, but officially, I would say about 5 years ago,
Yeah.
when I decided to like get serious about writing,
Yeah.
because I had some stories in my head, but I never actually tried to put them down,
Right.
words on a paper. That's about 5 years ago.
And so for the first book that we did together, that was your first time writing a novel. I think was that like 2 years ago? Or
Yeah, I think it was published in 23. Yeah,
yeah. Man, time really flies. Time really
right.
I
But
think
it took me a while because, like, when I start writing on myself first,
yeah.
without feedback, without anything, and it was like 21 or something. So, like,
Yeah.
long time. I had just like a draft. There was no structure. Was very like disorganized, and then I found this group, first book coaching, try to write your first novel first. And
Yeah.
then with you, you said you want to go with like one-on-one coaching and see if you can get your project to the next level, which at that time, to me, that was some kind of like science fiction that I could finish my book and publish it.
Yeah.
Was really because I have no background, and second of all, English was my second language, even though
Oh,
I'm in US for 25 years. So it's
right.
a lot of struggle, a lot of self doubt. Yeah,
Right,
but
right.
yeah, I remember you told me that writing is a skill that can be learned, and
Yeah.
those words are really like struck a chord in me, and I
I'm
said,
good. I'm
so
happy.
then,
I'm
so
happy.
right. Yeah. I published one, and after I published the first book, writing is kind of like it's become a habit, like a compulsion. You just want to keep doing this and see.
Yeah,
Okay, I've done it once, so I can probably do it another one.
exactly.
And compared to the book one, it didn't take that much time. It didn't take like 5 years. It could like little over the year probably because I already was working on established routine. Um, I followed once like you um, learn the skill. Once you learn like all the like foundation and stuff, you just add it on and it makes it easier.
Exactly.
So second book is easier. I will not say it was easy for me because again writing a draft it's one thing, but rewriting, re-editing to the point when okay, this is the best I can do.
Yeah,
It's a struggle, but
book two, to me, it felt like book two was easier, but still not easy. But it was easier than book one, right? You want to show us?
it was easier than book one,
You want to
right?
show us book two?
And
Nice.
I so far I have a good feedback on the cover because there was really really struggle to find to work with a designer who will understand the concept of your book without even reading the whole manuscript.
Also, just so people know, The bar across the front, this is a proof copy. So if you're
Yeah,
self-publishing something, you're going to get a proof copy like this, which is not for customers. It's just for you, the author, to check that you're happy with everything, which is why it has this bar across the front. So here's something interesting. With book one, we started working together after you already did a lot of writing. With book two, we started working together
right.
from the beginning, right? Um,
Yes.
was there any difference for you? Was it easier to have the help from an early stage?
It was better, yeah, because I will start writing like right away without wasting much time of going back and trying to fix the draft. Because
Right.
to me, that sounds like a extra work and extra
Yeah, I
time.
mean, we always prefer to catch people a bit earlier in the process because if we can help you with the plan, then you're not going to have that much editing to do. Not as much editing. I mean, you still did a lot of
You
editing,
still have to do.
but
And
less. You don't have to go back to fix something which is completely a mess. You just have to
right.
change small things until it's working, right?
And
Um,
I have to say, planning of the book is very important. It's
yes.
planning. Writing without a plan, it doesn't work. Like in my first book, I remember I had like another story, was like a backstory which wasn't really related. They have to cut. I had some characters they had to be removed. But if you
A
have a plan, and you have to be thorough about the plan, you have to work about each character, how they grow through the story, how do they their actions support the moral of the moral message of the story, and it's all like comes together because you follow the plan, and it's also
right,
easier to write if you have a plan. Then you
right.
then you have to think about what you're gonna write next, but you already have outline and you just follow it and you fill in the blanks.
Exactly.
Um, but
So,
I mean, it's not 100%. You can like perceive 100% how it's gonna be because stuff can change. Then you also, when you go through the beta reading stage, you have some another readers who advise you like maybe you need to change this and that. But overall, it's better to have a solid plan with some revisions than have no plan and start writing.
oh,
And it
absolutely.
helps a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's interesting because you wrote the first book and you learned a lot, right? So you
Right.
wrote book one and you learned a lot, and now you're writing book two. What did you learn from writing another book, which you didn't learn from book one? What new things did you
So
learn from book two?
yeah, book two, I would say I spend more time with crafting the characters. In book one, um, I look back, they were not that complex individuals. They were like good enough, but they didn't have that what we call it. In book two, I have like several like gray characters, which I love.
For book two, you were much more intentional about making the characters feel human, feeling 3D, this kind of
Right,
thing. There was one more thing I wanted to address, which is if
right.
anybody does not know what a molfar is, because I learned this from reading this book actually. So my family history, my mother's side of the family is from Ukraine, but I didn't know
Oh,
about the mythology. I had no idea about this stuff because I grew up in the UK, and so this really took me back to my roots. This book.
you
What is a
see, you
molfar?
learn something. So the
Exactly.
Malfar is a traditional healer, and they attributed to have some like magic powers going back centuries. And there's a lot of mythology. There's a lot of add-on like people, tell tales about them, what they can do.
Yeah.
But really, it's mind-opening.
So these are based in real mythology, real ideas that are really practiced historically in Ukraine. So I think that's a very unique setting and a very unique uh, style of world building for your book as well. So if people want to pick it up, it's just on Amazon. Where can people buy the book?
It's available Amazon, available Barnes and Noble, also available on Apple Books and Google Play. Those are four major ones.
Good.
And currently, there's like a limited offer where you can get for free, just like runs a few days on Amazon where you can download.
Cool.
And if you have Kindle, then even after this promotion ends, you can still download for free on Kindle.
Oh,
And
great.
it's also available in a paperback and a hard copy too, which is very beautiful.
Good, good. All right, Oleg. Thank you for coming for another interview, and maybe we work together soon on book three.
Yeah, who knows? I already started. Thank you.
Okay, great.